Hey guys, welcome to another goddamn video. And today we're gonna do a video kind of going over ranting for vengeance. Jesus Christ, can't talk. We're gonna watch some of his videos because he's been uploading a bit. Jesus Christ. Oh, what was the last? Oh my god, he's even making fun of the new. What is this? What is this? You guys are seeing the same things that I'm seeing. This is. What the fuck? Jesus Christ. This needs to stop. Anyways, let's check out. Yeah, Ironheart. Yeah, we already knew that was actually pretty bad. But let's go ahead and check out.
James Gunn's Superman is the worst fucking movie that's ever been made. I stayed true to what I said. While it's closed, I'm not giving money to James Gunn, the freak, or DC. But I did watch Superman fully somehow, and I don't know how they did it, but James Gunn has managed to make the worst superhero movie ever made. Before we go any further, just be warned that this is not hyperbole. This is not rage bait. This movie is a disgrace to filmmaking. And if you saw the movie and you agree and you want to help out this channel, maybe consider subscribing or supporting me over on Patreon. So there's been a lot of reviews from everybody all across the internet, and I'm gonna be honest, a lot of these people are just lying because they don't want to destroy the movie.
Or they just like the fucking movie, you fucking ingrate. God damn it. God damn it.
People are saying it isn't woke and it isn't even that bad. Some people are saying it's a 10 out of 10 that's better than Iron Man, Avengers Endgame. And I'm here to tell you that everybody on all sides of this are lying. Once again, it isn't rage bait. If you watch this movie, try.
This is rage bait. All you do is rage bait, okay? Either that or you're just actually retarded. You know what? You're retarded and you're rage baiting. You know what? I'll say that because you're so fucking stupid.
This script, is there a beginning, a middle, or even an end? Or are we just dropped into the worst movie ever created by man? That's exactly what it is. Because from all the trailers, I thought that this movie was going to be terrible, but still a fun time. And there was one fun part that could be excused, which was Nathan Fillion's Guy Gardner, which I actually found kind of funny. But other than like 5 seconds of footage where Superman and Lois were acting like they were in an actual Superman movie, this was a piece of crap. And I can't really stress it enough. There's pieces of crap, and then there's this movie. It's really easy for a movie to be bad. Superman, on the other hand, is like the Flash times 1,000.
What? He's just saying it's crap. It's crap. It's crap. It's crap. It's garbage. It's shit. That's all he says. That's all. Jesus.
I can't really put it into words if you haven't watched this movie. There's no structure. There's no writing. There's no acting.
How? There is acting. There is writing. There is a plot. It's built very well. It's a great movie, actually. And sure, it could have its moments of awkwardness, I guess. It just depends on the person. Obviously, you don't like it, but that doesn't mean that it's just absolute trash, okay? I just don't get it, okay? People have different tastes, but you have to just deny everyone else. Just, I don't know, maybe he just likes the fucking movie because it's a good movie?
CGI is terrible. There's so much comedy, it'll make you want to pluck your own eyes out. Every time Superman even comes close to doing anything that's anyway good, he just gets knocked over by a dog. Lex Luthor is a stupid analogy for Donald Trump.
For most of the movie, the dog is out of there because it's kidnapped. What are you talking about?
Trump and racism. There's lesbian girl bosses running around. There's an emphasis on
She's a fucking bad guy!
Gen Z and TikTok for some reason. Superman is whining.
It's like, you know, current day. And yeah, phones are a thing. Crazy. It isn't just, we're stuck in the 80s and 90s where we didn't have much of phones back then, you know? Crazy concept.
For the entire movie. His voice is so high-pitched and the dude never stops screaming and being autistic. I don't know how I can say it anymore. This movie is the most retarded thing to ever exist. Genuinely. I've watched a lot of movies from many different countries, time periods. I'm not bragging here. I'm just saying that I know that Superman is probably in the top 3 worst of all of them. Forget every crappy...
I'm just pausing a second just to suck that all in. This is the worst out of top 3 worst. Seriously?
B movie ever made. Forget, like, I don't know, Plan 9 from Outer Space being the worst movie ever made. This is it right here. You thought Marvel humor was bad. Well, they have so much of it that you want to die. It literally has some of the worst CGI in a new movie, and I'm not alone on this. Just look at the reviews. So people will jump to Rotten Tomatoes right here and try to prove me wrong, saying that, what are you saying, little bro? The movie is a success. 95 on the audience score. Everybody loves it. I looked through that audience score. It was a big load of bots that loved Crypto, the little cute dog, which was one of the most retarded parts about the entire movie. You come over to a real source like, I don't know, Empire Magazine, and they have it rated 2 out of 5 stars, saying exactly what I'm saying. The movie is so messy and garbage. The end of the movie.
Can you actually show
the movie is so messy and garbage. The end of the movie is just a CGI mess. The Guardian, 2 out of 5 stars. I don't really know what people are seeing here, but it's getting this.
Can you actually show what they say in the reviews? Like, otherwise, I'm just not gonna trust you, you fucking idiot.
Another news source says it's painfully mediocre. Another news source rates it 2.5 stars out of 5. I don't know what I'm missing here. The movie isn't some 10 out of 10. Everybody knows it's spasticated. You just don't want to hear it. Now, I'd love to go in depth and show everything on screen, but I just need to.
It's almost like people have different tastes, and other people are gonna like it, and other people are. It's crazy, I know. Not everything's black and white. Oh, wait. For you it is, because you're a fucking racist ginger fuck. Which is crazy, you know? Seeing that you're, well, just because you're ginger doesn't mean you're Irish. I was gonna say an Irish thing, but I mean, I guess it couldn't mean that he's Irish. I hope to God he isn't Irish, because that'd just be a fucking disgrace to me. But, yeah, no, you're just an idiot. Like, I just don't know how to describe it. Like, people have covered you before, Chris and Ark and all that stuff, but you just keep on going, and God damn it. Jesus. James Gunn added the monkey bot scene for this exact reason. Oh my god. Oh my god, it's so true.
Tell you, for the people who haven't watched this movie,
he is the goddamn monkeys that were saying, like, that this movie is like Superman shit and everything. Oh my god. Oh my god. It's crazy.
How ridiculously bad this is. For the first hour of the movie, Superman is on the ground screaming and whining. That's not a joke. It's not rage bait. He literally doesn't get up off of the ground for a full...
Because he got his shit rocked for the very first time. What the fuck?
Full 60 minutes. He's in some pocket wormhole universe.
Okay. Hold on.
And in that universe, Lex Luthor, who is terrible and gay, by the way, for some reason, he just shows up.
Gay? He's fucking a girl who's actually in love with Jimmy Olsen. That fucking Chad.
And shows Superman that everybody online trying to cancel.
And it isn't a different universe. It's a pocket dimension, you absolute fucking idiot. God damn it.
Superman typing angry comments aren't actually real. They're a big load of monkeys typing at a keyboard. No, that's not a joke. I didn't make that up. James Gunn is saying that
Well, no, not a pocket dimension, because he said it was kind of like a dimension between dimensions. Like a dimension between their dimension and another dimension. So I guess still a pocket dimension, but still, I guess it couldn't be the same.
And review Superman.
I'm being a fucking nerd.
Are monkeys. So let me just do the math real quick. He's not only calling me and everybody
because you are a fucking monkey.
Doesn't like the movie a monkey. If you're an Indian kid or if you're a black person who said something on Twitter against James Gunn, he thinks you're a monkey. That's really not a good look. And speaking of not good look,
you know, Colin, saying, you know, you were afraid of black people and all that stuff isn't a good look for you either, ranting a vengeance. So, whoa, and you did say that. So, you know, it's lovely.
David Corn Sweat looks about 400 pounds in the terribly made suit. There's kids all over this movie. Why?
Bro is built. What are you talking about? Just because he has a different suit on, it isn't just skin fucking tight to his fucking skin. Unlike Henry Cavill's. Henry Cavill's suit looked pretty good too, but I prefer the new suit. Although I do have my own issues with the new suit. I don't like the way the leather looks or whatever, the fabric looks. But you know, that's something I gotta get used to. But yeah, it's preference. It's all just preference. Instead of saying it just sucks, it's just fucking preference. You know, it's just, hey, I don't really like it, and that's okay. I hope someone else enjoys it though. You know?
Do you ask because it's a James Gunn production, and we'll just pretend like...
Instead, this guy is like, nope, it's gay. It's retarded. I hate it.
This guy isn't a freak. Every single person in Metropolis is Indian and play really big parts in the movie.
What are you talking about? Huh? Is he joking?
Like some random Indian convenience store worker or something comes up.
Dude, he popped up for like. Okay, that's. Okay, but he only showed up. That's better. For like 2 scenes. One where he saves Superman or gets him up, and another scene where he literally gets his head blown up by Lex Luthor. He gets shot in the fucking head. That's why I said popped up, because it was like, he got kind of popped off. So it's kind of funny. Anyways, continue.
And just says something to Superman and ends up in the plot of the movie. The dude is the linchpin of the entire.
To show how petty Lex Luthor is, just because a guy helps out Superman, Lex Luthor is gonna hunt you down and kill you. It's instead of showing, it's telling. It's literally doing what a movie should be doing, you idiot.
Entire movie somehow. Some random taco vendor. Forget what everybody is telling you, saying that Man of Steel and every other superhero movie is dark and gritty, and this one is hopeful and full of joy. Let's cut out the politics for a second. This is a disgrace to making movies in general. People talk about how bad Deadpool and Wolverine was. It had no story. It was just cameos for the entire thing. This is the exact same and 10 times worse. I'm not overreacting and I'm not making a big deal out of it. This movie doesn't have a plot. It has no story. It has barely any redeeming
Why? It has a story. What are you talking about?
elements. People make fun of it all the time. The American acting legend Kevin Costner, who played Superman's dad in Man of Steel. And
what are you talking about? That sucked. They literally canonically put down Crypto because he was too much to handle in that fucking movie or whatever the fuck. Like, it's just stupid.
people are actually saying that these two random spastics that they have in Superman 2025 is somehow better. Watch the movie.
Because they're actually acting like caring, farmers who would make sense, because that's just how they were in the fucking comics. That's how Superman was raised, to be a little Boy Scout, little caring guy. That's why he is how he is now. He doesn't just like that because he is. It's because he got raised by good people, for fuck's sake.
And tell me that his two parents aren't extremely retarded. Why are they two backwards rednecks who I do not care about? The only few things I can think of that are semi-even passable was Nathan Fillion's Guy Gardner, which was funny because the dude was just a douchebag. And Lois Lane and Clark Kent weren't really that bad, except for when Clark had an autistic meltdown and his voice went so high-pitched like some little bitch. And Lois Lane goes off on a monologue about fake.
Because instead of worrying about politics, Superman just wanted to save people. But here you are, worrying about politics and not giving a shit about, the actual movie.
Punk rock. Superman is sipping cocoa and crying his eyes out for the entire movie. And we see here, we're going to be getting spin-offs with Mr. Terrific and Jimmy Olsen. These people weren't scene stealers like people are going to try to tell you online. Mr. Terrific was some black dude who had some ridiculously caricature.
Mr. Terrific was so fucking awesome in that movie. Literally one of the best things in that movie. What the fuck are you talking about?
Accent of like a preacher down south. And also, he had more screen time than Superman. And the same goes for...
That's bullshit. And you know it. And what the fuck is he going on about?
Jimmy Olsen, who was acting really weird throughout the entire movie. Like all these...
How weird?
These girls wanted to go out with him and the dude was just acting gay. Like he didn't want...
Yeah, because he's just a Chad. He doesn't need all the girls.
Pardon it. Oh yeah, and he also had more screen time than Superman. And James Gunn and DC are talking here about how they're going to be making tons of new TV shows and movies, bringing together the Justice League. I don't know how anybody could be excited for this after watching...
I wonder who could be excited. I wonder. Yeah, it's just terrible. Dog shit.
Superman. The Hall of Justice was Guy Gardner, Mr. Terrific, and Hawk Girl sitting around in a massive empty room. And you see some handicap here. Don't let anybody tell you nobody cares about Superman. Are you blind? I just showed you 20 reviews from massive news sources that all just said it was a 2 out of
20 to like 800 other reviews, my guy. Let's do the math, okay?
5. This isn't The Dark Knight. This isn't Iron Man. It isn't even Man of Steel. And it definitely isn't Christopher Reeve in Superman the movie. This isn't even an 8 out of 10. It's like, I don't know, a 1 out of 10. This isn't a movie. It's a big load of CGI for 2 hours. And this story just came out that Ta-Nehisi Coates was going to make a black Superman movie. And it actually got cancelled.
That just came out? Dude. Newsflash. That was revealed a long time ago. I don't know what you're on. But this is July 2020. Yeah. That shit was revealed in 2023. possibly. I think
because
it's not
realized that it
2024.
was too woke. Nobody wants to watch some civil rights activist black race swapped Superman. But at the end, as a little caveat, James Gunn will still probably make the movie in the future. Who wants that? I don't even
How do you know that? He hasn't even hinted at something like that. What are you talking about?
want David Corn Sweat Superman. That was the non-woke version. The movie with the two warring factions and countries that definitely don't represent a certain conflict in the Middle East that's happening right now. Don't try to tell me that this movie isn't woke or not political. If you think that, go screw yourself. It is. The entire movie is about Trump, immigrants, and as I just mentioned, other conflicts in other countries. I really don't know what I'm missing here. This movie was the biggest heap of shit I've ever watched. At first I found it funny to just laugh at it from the trailers, but watching it, it was just so bad I couldn't even believe it. How did a movie like this ever get greenlit? So much focus
Seriously.
on comedy and random dogs banging into people and Superman whining and screaming and crying. This is
You're just repeating yourself. This is just repeat. Who let bro cook? Old man yells at clouds. Throws on Lex Luthor's paycheck? For real?
beyond Marvel humor. I don't think anybody could excuse this. Superman is an objectively terrible movie. If you're a movie critic or you consider yourself anti-woke and you're saying that this movie is just okay, it's not even that bad, it's not even woke, I don't know what's wrong with you up here, but you need to wake up. Quality was just non-existent.
Gee, he's like making fun of people for having their own opinion and liking something he doesn't like. Holy shit. That almost sounds pretty gay, you know? Pretty bullshit if you ask me. But, you know, that's just my opinion. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy how that works.
With James Gunn's Superman. Do not watch this movie. Do not take your kids to go see it.
Too late.
It's filled with a
I took all my fucking kids to watch that. More than once, motherfucker.
big load of unnecessary cursing and political agenda. They spent 20 minutes of the movie talking about Superman's harem. What the hell? Who wrote that in the script? So Superman's original parents and Krypton just go straight out the window. Spoiler alert, sorry to break it to you, but his parents are just evil for some reason. And then his fake parents down on Earth are too handy.
It's almost like a plot twist. I know, it's crazy. I know it's been a while since you had one of those. I know, but not everything's gonna stay the same. And I know you don't like change all that much.
Handicaps.
But get used to it.
The peak of this movie is Superman flying into Lex Luthor's office and crying to him. And then Superman's dog knocks Lex Luthor over. That's every single scene. It ends with somebody getting knocked over, some cutaway to a Marvel humor joke, or a cute little dog that we're all supposed to find funny. And at the end of the movie, Supergirl shows up and calls Superman a bitch, and then gets knocked over by a dog. I couldn't make this any more funny even if I wanted to. And it still has all the touches of a James Gunn disaster. The volume and piece of shit James Gunn and his brother both came out before this movie just a couple days ago and were laughing and sneering at everybody.
It is exactly what the movie is about. I think that, like, we support our people, you know, we love our immigrants.
What? What are you talking about? As in white people? Dog, he literally just said as an immigrant and everything. Like, we support people in general, you absolute tard. Are you high?
Yes, Superman is
You're the racist piece of shit, not him. What are you talking
an
about?
immigrant. And yes, if you don't like that,
What a
then
hypocrite.
you're not American.
You said it's an immigrant story. It's a political movie. MAGA today is going nuts. What do you have to say to MAGA?
I don't have anything. I think this movie's for everybody. I don't have anything to say to anybody. Like, I'm not here.
MAGA today was getting a little upset that he called Superman an immigrant. I wanted to get your reaction.
Somebody needs a hug.
It's not review bombing, it's not Snyder cult. I do not care about Zack Snyder's Man of Steel. The dude is a terrible movie maker as well, but 10 trillion times better than James Gunn. Stop coping.
But you still say it's better than that, so you're still dick suck. You fucking.
And saying that James Gunn is a great filmmaker. I've watched most of the guy's movies. Not one of them is good. Endless needle drops.
In your opinion, you haven't even given an exact reason how they're like bad. You just say that's gay or it's just not good. It's trash, and you shouldn't like it either. It sums up this whole fucking video.
with crappy music and Marvel humor does not make a good movie. This is not a new era of hope for the superhero. This is the end. If this is the best you can come up with, I don't even know if you could call this filmmaking. I don't consider myself a critic. I'm not some pretentious douchebag who's gonna sit here and say that, oh, they didn't have the right camera work or the correct way of writing your movie. But to be honest...
Because guess what? You don't know how that all works. And you'd look more like an idiot than you already are if you did try to talk about that without any knowledge of how that works. And trust me, I would have done some research in order to make you look really retarded if he had done that.
This movie had no structure, and it was shot terribly. It's not like Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 1 bit had no structure, and it was shot terribly.
But you just say it in chat. What are you? Oh my god! Holy shit! How? How do you go from, no, I'm not going to talk about it, to talking about it? And it's not even like a good take or anything. You just say it's not well shot.
It's not like Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 1 bit, and everybody who says that needs to go.
Sam Raimi's Spider-Man? It's a Superman movie. What? Am I tripping balls?
Screw themselves. Sam Raimi's Spider-Man is the example of what this should have been. This movie...
That's a Marvel movie. This is... Huh?
Is not comic booky. There isn't one comic book...
They literally went to a pocket dimension where there was this, like, lava-ish whole thing. The world was splitting in half because Lex Luthor had a petty disagreement with Superman. What are we smoking?
Where Superman gets his ass kicked by a dog, starts crying, thinking...
Because Krypto is Kryptonian as well. He's a Kryptonian dog. He has some kick in him.
It's called a bitch to his face. It's not accurate to any
because Supergirl was drunk.
Comic book. It's just goofy and stupid and retarded. So finally, for the last time, do not watch Superman. It's genuinely, truthfully, sincere.
Too late. Anyways. So let's see what else. What else he got? Oh boy. So is that total disaster? Worst Superman movie of all? Yeah, we get it. Smoke trash. The end of Marvel and DC. This is a flop. Retards versus badass. Let's see how
I thought that we were going to be in store for a more comic accurate, positive change with the up and coming Spider-Man Brand New Day. But I should have just stuck to my guns, because what we're getting is not comic accurate. And not only that, it's also filled with fake Punisher, feminist bitch, and maybe even a race swap of a classic character. But before we get into it, if you like these type of videos and you agree with what I say, maybe consider subscribing or supporting me over on Patreon. So I've talked a small bit about Tom Holland's Spider-Man movies before, and I'll just be honest, he's the worst Spider-Man, and all of his movies are the worst Spider-Man
because of course he is.
Movies. I really do hate The Amazing Spider-Man 1, and although part 2 is a lot better, it still has...
What? That movie was terrible. The only thing good was the suit. Holy shit.
Its problems. But still, all that aside, the Andrew Garfield movies beat Tom Holland's Spider-Man. Because Tom Holland's Spider-Man...
He's on another level of, like, stupidity or something. Like, holy cow.
And is this squeaky voiced kid by some ugly bitch Zendaya who should not be playing Mary Jane Watson. And please don't come at me with that bullshit of she's not even playing MJ, she's playing Michelle Jones. Stop coping. You know what it is. They want to destroy the original characters and source material. So they make Spider-Man...
They wanted to change things up. Oh, God forbid.
Into a weak cock. And then they take Peter Parker's biggest love interest, Mary Jane Watson, and they turn her from a hot redhead into a race swap bitch who looks like an 11-year-old boy from the slums of Brazil. But even though all of those movies sucked, I was being positive about Brand New Day, which is a really crappy title, by the way. But yeah, I was being hopeful.
And guess what? It's the title of a fucking Marvel comic, so let's go ahead. Just start talking shit about comics too while we're at
Gonna get
it.
a Spider-Man movie that has him in the blue and red costume, and maybe he might be acting like the actual character of Spider-Man. And who knows, maybe that might be the case. I don't really care, because everything else in the movie sounds garbage. So you had the usual lies here. Spider-Man Brand New Day will be like a comic book brought to life. And yeah, the suit is probably the best Tom Holland suit and one of the best Spider-Man suits in the last few years. But by God, are people hyping this up? Like I'll show on screen right now, there were some leaked set photos and people were just losing their minds. I mean real cringe queers all over Twitter saying
Because it almost looks cool, right? Oh my gosh. Whoa, crazy.
aura, and this is gonna be peak, it's gonna be fire. Is it just me, or with these brand new superhero movies like Superman, Fantastic Four, Batman Part 2, and now this, there's a massive movement on the internet hyping this crap up, and it all feels
Because it's been going on oh my god, because they've been shooting in London or some shit. So yeah, it's gonna get hyped because photos have been coming out, dude. That's how it works.
super fake. Like these people are being paid or something to make the movie sound
What are
amazing.
you
And as I say
talking
all the time, Marvel
about?
and DC are basically dead. So I don't think it would be out of the picture to create a big load of fake hype around the movie. Like legitimately, calm the hell down. It's not that good. It's still Tom Holland, the gay, weak Brit underneath the costume. Just because he's standing up in a crowd of people does not make it comic accurate, and by God, it does not make it good. Case in point, Florence Pugh's Yelena will reportedly star in... Hold up, I'm gonna have to stop you right there. Why on God's green earth are we referring to her character as Florence Pugh's Yelena? Florence Pugh is some 4 out of 10
Yelena, as in the new Black Widow. Yes. What about it?
bitch I don't give a crap about. I don't go to see a Spider-Man movie to see some bullshit character who
She's in the same fucking universe, you actual tard. So yeah, she's gonna show up. Oh my god, those two.
should not be anywhere near Spider-Man. You haven't even gotten the character of Peter Parker or Mary Jane Watson down properly, and now you're bringing in Florence Pugh's Yelena. I don't know one thing
You can't even say Yelena, right? You fucking soulless little fuck.
about this character. I didn't watch Thunderbolts. It was a load of
You didn't even watch Thunderbolts, so you don't even know if she's a good actress or not in that. Yeah, she was really good too. It was a good movie, so you should have. But
shit. So sorry,
you
but
probably would have talked shit about it too, so it doesn't even fucking matter.
real comic book fans and fans of Spider-Man don't really give a crap about Yelena, some character who has nothing got to do with Spider-Man. And this is a very common issue with superhero movies and these big companies. They can't even get one character right, but yet they add in millions of characters into one movie. Like Avengers Endgame, you couldn't even get Iron Man correct, and now you're making a big epic movie. And we already know that Hulk is going to be in this, which is
How do they not get Iron Man correct? It was the MCU versions of Iron Man. It's if you want to watch, if you want to read the comics, go read your fucking comics of Iron Man. If you even have any comics, because I doubt you're an actual comic fan. But you know, go ahead, do your thing. But people are gonna enjoy their own things. Okay, I know it's a crazy concept. People have their own hobbies, their own little interests, instead of having all the interests that you have. I know it's mind blowing that you're just not in this little world anymore. I know. Whoa.
another
It's called growing up.
character that they just totally effed up. But the biggest fuck up out of Marvel has been the character of Frank Castle, the Punisher. Now I do have some videos about Punisher comics that you should read if you do have an interest in the character. But to tell you the truth, the Punisher is not one of my favorite comic book characters. The idea of him is really cool. He's Paul Kersey from Dead Wish, this stone cold vigilante mixed with an action hero like Rambo. He also takes inspiration from hard-boiled pulp characters like the Executioner. He should literally be the best character of all time. But trust me, he really isn't. From his many different comic runs, only a few are really that good. Like Jim Lee's Punisher War Journal, although flawed, has some great issues. And the same goes for the work by Mike Zeck and Chuck Dixon. Now, out of all of those runs spanning from the 80s to the 90s, one thing can be agreed on. Punisher is a hero. That's just a plain fact. One thing can be agreed on. Punisher is a hero. That's
No, he isn't. He's an anti-hero. He's not a hero. He's not a fucking hero.
just a plain fact. It was that way in the original Mike Barron run. It was that way in the Jim Lee run. And
Then you obviously didn't read those runs because he isn't a fucking hero. He's a killer. Alright, sure. Some iterations where different characters have different morals is interesting, but he isn't no hero. He doesn't even like considering himself a hero. He doesn't want to be considered a role model. But here you are. Might as well be putting him on a fucking pedestal. You fucking ginger fuck.
And it was that way in the Chuck Dixon run, and also in the Punisher graphic novels, which most people do not know about because all they read is the crappy, subverted Garth Ennis run that made Frank Castle into a psychopath, which he most certainly isn't. The character was not that way for a good 10 years. Now, I could make a full series, I don't know if you guys even want to see that, of comic characters that were ruined by the movies and later comics that changed and retconned characters to become woke and something that they aren't. Characters like the Guardians of the Galaxy, Moon Knight, Daredevil, and the Punisher is a big one, but the worst portrayal of the character.
Moon Knight. He only got a TV show, and even then, that's more recent. They haven't had anything change from the fucking TV show.
Of all time is John Bernthal. Now, I won't get into this too much because YouTube does not really like it, but Frank Castle is Italian, and if you do your research, John Bernthal is not.
God forbid they change things up. Whoa.
Bernthal would be more suited to play, I don't know, the Thing. I'll just leave it at that. But all that aside, the dude just does not look like the
He's Jewish. Okay? Hope you fucking do.
Punisher at all. And newsflash to all these people who love the Punisher TV show and love his appearance in Daredevil, he doesn't act like the character either. Freaking out, having mental breakdowns and twitching like a retard is not the Punisher. And unfortunately, he's gonna be in Spider-Man Brand New Day. And just take a look at the picture. Now, people are hyping this up, calling it comic accurate. I don't know what part of this is comic accurate. All I see is a retard with a
He has a whole bunch of fucking ammo and a skull on his chest. How much more comic accurate do you need it to be?
shitty Punisher logo, a shitty beard, and a haircut.
That is a pretty good beard. I'm not gonna lie, that's pretty sharp.
That needs to come down out of the sky. The Punisher is a vigilante. He's not the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Why the hell does he have a flat top? Actually, what am I saying? The Punisher in his own show as well had this massive curly afro for some reason. Why is it so
What are you talking about? It's not even that big of a hairdo. What?
hard to get the character's haircut, shave off the beard, create the proper costume from the comics with a trench coat, and dual wield 2 massive guns? He only did it like one time at the end of season 2. For the rest of it, he was doing his usual shtick, twitching and freaking out like a mental retard. If I was in charge of this movie, I would just reject him straight away. Nope, the Punisher does not have big curly afro hair. He doesn't have
Well, good for this movie, you aren't the director. So, fuck off.
a beard, and he's got some handicap who freaks out every 5 seconds. Just watch First Blood if you want to know what Frank Castle is. He's the same character.
He's literally what you just described. Rambo had a whole bunch of PTSD. He was freaking out at the end of the movie. He was going like, oh my god, I killed all these people. What have I done? Oh my god. And he was like losing his shit. And he was a twitchy little fuck. For obvious reasons, for PTSD and all that stuff, war trauma and everything, not bad. It's terrible to have. But what I'm saying is it's not a heinous thing to be twitchy and shit like that. I'm just saying it's stupid that he's nitpicking these things when he's literally a war vet in the comics and in the TV show and in the MCU. So fuck off. That makes no sense. What are you talking about? God damn it.
Character is
I'm losing my
He's
shit.
a hero. He might be damaged and he might do some stuff that isn't exactly morally perfect, but he is a hero. And that's the end of the line with the Punisher. Anybody saying otherwise has not read the 80s and 90s comics. And now onto a casting that could lead to a potential race swap. So some random black guy, I don't know who the hell he is, I don't really care, is playing a villain in Spider-Man Brand New Day. And people are theorizing, saying he could play Tombstone or the Prowler. And who knows, maybe that might happen. But knowing Marvel, they're gonna try to make it as woke as possible. And this retard on Twitter with 15,000 spastics liking this post just proved my point. But would this not be elite casting for Norman Osborn? No, it wouldn't. Norman Osborn is white. That guy is black. Do you have eyes or are you retarded?
God forbid they change things up. As the per usual. Can't be having my white characters be black now.
What the hell is going on? 15,000 likes as well. That really does tell you the truth. It just shows you the people out there who believe this kind of shit.
Thinking about Tramel Tillman getting a play with Norman Osborn, mainly Norman Osborn, but giving us little hints and teases at what his Goblin could be like is just some shit in my brain that is making me moist.
What?
If this guy's being cast as a black character, perfect. If he's Norman Osborn, then you're gonna lose a lot of fans. That cringe gay TV show, Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man,
That was actually a pretty good TV show. But
when you
anyways,
start making Norman Osborn and beloved classic Spider-Man characters black, gay, race-swapped, feminist, nobody likes it. It's why that show sucked, and it's why Tom Holland's Spider-Man has always sucked. And I just saw this tweet here. I don't know what on earth it even means, but it says that Tom Holland's second Spider-Man trilogy will be his last. Just hold on a second. I'm surprised that he even got a trilogy in the first place when nobody ever liked this guy. But he might be getting a second trilogy. But who am I kidding? We all knew that this is what they were going to do. Race swap beloved characters and just destroy and go against the source material. Everything that just came out about this movie has ruined it for me. I'm not going to see it. I don't give a crap about it. And I don't think any real comic book fan will. Spider-Man is the classic character from the comics. He's not weak. He's not gay. If you're
then shut the fuck up and read your stupid comics. Anyways, I didn't say much after that because it's just repeating the same bullshit as per usual. So let's go ahead and see this dumbassery. I recently saw a trailer for Marvel's Wolverine. Thought it was really cool. I'm really excited for it, actually. And apparently, it's woke slap. As per usual. So let's see.
So we finally have a trailer for Insomniac's long-awaited Wolverine game, and people are saying it looks great and lives up to the hype. And as a big fan of the character of Wolverine, it does look good to an extent, because throughout all of these trailers and posts, people are leaving out one crucial detail. And I'm not going to clickbait you or try to make you watch the entire video. I'm just going to tell it to you straight. This game is confirmed as feminist garbage. But before we get into
Okay. Sure.
If you like these videos and you want to help out the channel, maybe consider subscribing or supporting me over on Patreon. So I've made multiple videos about Wolverine comics on this channel that you could go watch if you want to learn about the character. When I say I'm a Wolverine fan, I'm not a fan of the Fox X-Men Hugh Jackman Wolverine. That is just not the character. I'm not a fan of the modern comic Wolverine. That is nothing like the character. I'm a fan of the real Wolverine from Chris Claremont's full Uncanny X-Men, ranging from the 70s all the way up to the early 90s. Claremont created a character that was this anti-hero that could only really be found if you were reading underground comics or manga. Wolverine didn't wear a cape. He wasn't some pacifist Boy Scout. He was like a mix of Batman and Daredevil, where at his minimum, he was a badass character in the team of the X-Men all the way through the 70s.
Batman and Daredevil? No. No.
80s and 90s, and at the maximum potential of the character, like we saw in the Claremont Miller miniseries that you should read. It's basically the gateway to the character, probably up there with the excellent Conan style origin story Weapon X for being one of the best Wolverine stories ever made. In that miniseries, in Weapon X, in his entire solo series, which is also awesome, the writers and artists take inspiration from pulp fantasy like Conan, and also hard-boiled pulp fiction and film noir, creating the Wolverine that's always smoking a cigarette, drinking, dealing with a femme fatale in some dark city. That is the character of Wolverine. He's like a hard-boiled detective that's darker than even Daredevil. Probably up there with Daredevil for my...
And you compare him, like, mixing up Daredevil and Batman, even though they ain't the same, because they have no kill rules. This guy is a fucking monster, literally. A weapon. X. But let's just keep on going.
Character
I'm done being mad.
By no means is he some forgettable background character
or
like in
mad.
every brand new comic, or Hugh Jackman in a wife beater running around screaming. And I could talk about the classic comics all day, but I don't know if you want to see that, so if you do, let me know. But that takes me to the Wolverine game, which I'm not really going to be all negative about and say that it looks like total garbage, because it doesn't. As a Wolverine fan, you can't resist that the game is set in Tokyo and Madripoor, two locations that are taken straight from the great comics of Wolverine. And that seems to be the case with this game. There's a lot of stuff taken straight from the comics, like the fact that you have the brown and tan suit and the patch suit. And just a quick side note about the
brown and tan suit. Are you
patch era of Wolverine. Many people do not know what that is, and you shouldn't really call yourself a Wolverine fan if you haven't done the research or even read these comics. Basically, when Wolverine finally got his solo run in the 80s,
the tan suit isn't even in there. At least not in the trailer. I bet it is a comic selection, like a costume selection. Same goes for Patch, but okay.
Which is absolutely awesome, by the way. In this underrated run that is great work from Chris Claremont to John Buscema, and later improved upon by G.I. Joe writer Larry Hama and the excellent artist Mark Silvestri, creating a new persona for Wolverine where he didn't wear the brown and tan suit or the yellow and blue one. Instead, he was taking directly from Humphrey Bogart from Casablanca, constantly seen in a white suit smoking with an eye patch. Now, modern comic book fans who have no respect laugh at this and not see that it's one of the coolest things ever made. But anyways, the patch suit is in the game, and the Asian country Madripoor where Wolverine stayed with all these seedy bars and gangs. So I will have to give massive respect to the game for doing that. And as you can see from the trailers, it does look great. Wolverine riding a motorcycle with Arkham style stealth and combat. And by God, as a Daredevil and Wolverine fan, we do need a proper game like this. And that is one of the problems with this game. It just looks like God of War mixed with Arkham and Spider-Man. And speaking of Spider-Man, that leads me into the main issue of this game. Now, I was positive for a bit. The game does look badass, but at the same time, why is the suit some tactical Christopher Nolan
Okay.
variation instead of the actual character's costume? Why does
Because he's a tactical person? He uses armor. God forbid. You know, God forbid they change up the style compared to the comics. God forbid that they don't use spandex. God fucking forbid. I'm just glad that he has a fucking helmet. You know, instead of just him not wearing the helmet.
Nolan variation instead of the actual character's costume. Why does Logan look and sound nothing like his character? But more importantly, this is in...
How can you hear, you know, the character in the comics? It looks pretty similar.
Logan
Yeah, that's pretty spot on. Not gonna lie.
look and sound nothing like his character. But more importantly, this is Insomniac we're dealing with. The people who gave us Spider-Man Miles Morales and Spider-Man 2. I got Spider-Man 2 because I was a really big fan of Spider-Man at the time and wanted a good Spider-Man game that stayed faithful to the character. And I thought I was going to get that. But what did I get instead? A big load of gay black people. Hey, do you want to play as Miles Morales, the fake Spider-Man, going around at festivals with other people of color? And do you also want to play as his deaf girlfriend for some reason? And all of the female characters are feminist bitches like Mary Jane Watson in Spider-Man 2. So how is that going to mix Wolverine, a character who is always dealing with femme fatales like a New War detective, is instead going to get punched in the nuts by some bitch? And you can already see some of this from the leaks. Now I probably have to watch my words here, or maybe I don't because nobody really gives a crap. But how do I say this without getting myself in trouble? Using the internet, let's just say I borrowed a little sneak peek of Wolverine a few months ago. I'm not lying, I managed to get it up and running, and I'll tell you the truth. This game is hiding something that it's not showing anybody in any of the trailers. You don't just play as Wolverine in this game, you also have to play as Jean Grey in these 4 sections that go on for way too long. Yeah, nobody's telling you that, and Jean Grey is not a feminist character, but knowing
Okay. In 4 sections. God fucking forbid.
Insomniac, they're gonna make her insufferable. And also, the game is called Wolverine. Why am I playing as 2 different
Because spice things up instead of it just being the same thing over and over again. Change things up. Added little character for a little bonus chapter.
characters?
God
Literally,
forbid.
right now, I'll tell you from first-hand experience, the Logan in this game is weak and gay and not at all masculine. You know, like the
Okay.
exact opposite of Logan. And you have to play as Jean Grey for full sections of the game. But as a fan of Wolverine, I'm going to do whatever the hell I want to do. And that means I might even just play this game. But I am warning you that this game is going to be feminist and it is going to be woke. I'm just too big a fan of the
Oh no. Ranting for Vengeance has to play a game that's woke. Oh no. How is he gonna survive?
character to give up an opportunity
I'm melting.
to play an actual Wolverine game. But this game is 100% without a doubt political. And not even political, it's just shit. Who wants to play as Jean Grey? There's tons of different characters you could have played as.
Me? I mean, she's pretty good at Marvel Rivals, so yeah, that'd be interesting.
Maybe Kitty Pryde, like, you know, the classic Chris Claremont run, Kitty Pryde and Wolverine.
Even if they added her, you'd still try to find a way to fucking complain about it. So Why does it matter?
So instead you have to play as Jean Grey. But as I said, all that stuff aside, it is a game where you're going to be able to wear the patch outfit, the classic brown and tan. You're going to be able to ride a motorbike through Tokyo like Wolverine would. So I would take this game as a win, but there is going to be some insufferable feminism. And that's just my last point.
Oh
We
my
can't get a
God.
proper Wolverine game where he looks and acts badass and masculine like the character. Instead, there has to be a tacked on chunk of wokeness and feminism. And no real fan of the comics and the character of Wolverine actually wants this. So the people who made this decision to inject feminism, screw you. So that was just a quick video. It's kind of a
I mean, sorry I didn't say much, but he's just not adding anything interesting, and he's just repeating the same bullshit over and over and over again, unfortunately. So that's where I'll end it, because really, there's nothing else I really want to talk about. I haven't read the new Batman comics because I typically grab the volumes, so I wouldn't be able to argue with that. It's gonna be woke disaster. Once again, it's just I'm not gonna be able to fucking react much to it. So that was ranting for fucking vengeance, as per usual. Pretty stupid. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys have a great day. Hope you guys have a wonderful day, better day than me, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Bye bye.